This is segment 5. This is WBAI, and we're talking with Carol Tannenbaum about her experience with 9/11. So Carol, afterwards, did anybody contact you, or what happened? I mean, did people how did people unify after this event that survived?
Well, interestingly, let me back up a little bit to what happened immediately. When my brother showed up at his place, I knew he was okay. I just wanted to get the heck out of there, and I had parked my car in Jersey City across the river, walked up a few blocks to the Holland Tunnel. After all of that, I was going to walk through the Holland Tunnel and somehow get to my car, but the police would not let me walk through the Holland Tunnel. And I ultimately hitchhiked in Manhattan to a girlfriend's apartment on the Upper East Side. And she lives right around the corner from the New York blood drive, which had already set up to accept blood donations. So I stood by the O positive tree, and my friend kept yelling at me that they're not going to take your blood, you're toxic, come inside. So
you were sort of...
I got home the next day, and I believe it was the following day, September 12th or 13th, when Aon staff were calling people to find out who had survived and who didn't. And they just said, stay put, relax, do what you have to do, get the treatment that you need, and we'll be in touch with you further.
And so you did get psychotherapy?
Not immediately. I did get some therapy for PTSD, which was primarily being very nervous when I heard rumbling noises. And I did have some therapy for that. I had quite a bit of physical pain, and I did get some treatment. I had some massage therapy. Since then, I've had surgery on both of my knees, arthroscopic surgery, and still have pain in my knees and other places. But I don't remember how long we stayed home. I guess it was a few weeks until the company got set up again in temporary headquarters.
So so when all this is happening, you're hurting, but you're not really, your mind wasn't connecting to, like when you're going down the stairs and your knees are like crunching, your mind isn't connecting that. You're just sort of oblivious to the pain while it was happening?
Exactly. I just knew I had to keep moving. And even after all of that, I was ready to walk through the Holland Tunnel.
So you were a little bit off. You were a little bit off.
Yes, I was not connected to my body.
You're like Superman now. Now you can even fly through the tunnel. Okay.
I was in overdrive.
Okay. So they called you, you took time off, and then you were back at work?
Yes.
My goodness. And your brother, what did he do with his photos?
He actually sold, I'm not sure exactly where he sold all of his photos, but he did have a 2-page spread in Newsweek magazine of the moment the plane hit my building. That was rather strange seeing that, having been on the inside.
Did he take pictures of you?
No.
Wow, see? Interesting, huh?
Yeah.
I would like to, how much ash, how much, everyone appeared to be, fairly disheveled. Excuse me. So, what is going on today in your life? What did you learn from, how do you integrate all this? What is going on with you? And also the updates. You were talking to me previously about a lawsuit with Saudi Arabia and just updates for the public. These are things that are not going to air on any other show, so I want to know about them, because these are the points that are not being discussed. Tell me what you can that is relevant.
Well, I did have a workers' comp claim, which has been settled, and it never seemed like enough money. How can you be adequately compensated? But there's a schedule that the workers' comp board uses. I am currently part of a lawsuit to bankrupt the Saudi bankers. Not quite sure how many defendants there are, but it's the same law firm that handled the Lockerbie Flight 103 lawsuit against Libya. This is dragging out for an inordinate amount of time for probably political reasons, which you could well imagine. It's just probably not politically correct to sue the Saudis.
So when did that lawsuit begin against Saudi Arabia?
Where did it begin?
When? What year about?
Fairly soon after that. And interestingly, the attorneys had testified before Congress about who bankrolled the terrorists.
So they had actual records of where the money came from for these guys.
They tracked it just as they did for Pan Am Flight 103. They tracked the records back, the bank records. There are a number of banks and so-called charitable organizations that are being sued.
That had. So this is the kind of news that we don't hear about. So this has been ongoing with court hearings in New York?
Yes, it's in the U.S. District Court in Manhattan, and there was a move, and I don't know the legal logistics, but it went all the way up to the Supreme Court to remove the Saudi royal family as a defendant.
Oh, to try to get them off. Did they get off?
They did get off, but there are numerous other defendants. I actually went to court for one of the hearings, and there had to be 40 or 50 defense attorneys there. So this law firm deserves an awful lot of credit for just sticking with it.
Sticking with it and staying in there.
Yeah, and my feeling is that I don't really expect to get any money out of this. If I get my square yard of sand in Saudi Arabia, that's enough, because it will mean justice has been done. It's about justice for me.
What? We're going to take a break, and we're going to be right back with you. And I want, what are your goals, and what did you learn from this, and how are you integrating this whole event in your life for your future, your desires, your thoughts, and also the psychosocial political aspects, like what now, looking back. I mean, one of the things that I have confronted is the fact that we're now honoring everything today, but we've lost the ability to stand up and speak out, it appears. That the crisis we have economically and other crises are based on a lack of ethics, a certain amorality, a glorification of money and fame and celebrity that has gone insane in this country, and that we need to reflect on 9/11 to make the changes that are needed so that we are not in a crisis situation like we are today. So we'll be coming back. You're listening to Carol Tannenbaum, special on 9/11. We'll be right back.